Playing the number 3. Yo, Taylor. Thank you. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Make it clap. Okay. Yeah. I can hear you. Hang up. Yeah, give me another minute. Another half a minute, will you? Okay, Dale, I've got 30 seconds. Dale, I've got 30 seconds. Quick. Hilarious 3. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome. 4 o'clock on the nose or on the dot. I'd like to welcome one and all to CTV Sports here in the heart of Wellington. We're coming to you live this afternoon from Grand Champions Polo Club. And we're about to start the Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. We're on field number 3. Let's just give you a quick rundown of how they should be lining up. We've got for Alegría, they're in the black and pink. We've got Fred Mannix Jr., the first of our two 13-year-olds at number 1. Santos Valente at number 2, playing off 0 goals, also 13 years old. And then Nick Roldan, the 7-goaler at number 3, and Fred Mannix Sr. playing off 6 goals at number 4. Now then, in the traditional colours, quite on Z, Alessia Zeidler. I have her down as number 1. I'm going to just go through the list that I have. If there is a confirmation or if there is a change, I will, of course, let you know. And I can tell you now that Artemio Figueres is playing at number 3. Number 4, beg your pardon. Artemio is playing at number 4. Alicia is at number 1. Santino Magrini is number 2. And that would, of course, leave Hilario Figueres playing the number 3 position. So thank you very much for that. Do apologise for the slight confusion. Thank you very much. And I can see that our mounted officials are, well, we've got two of them this afternoon, two of the best in the business. We've got Pepe Araja and Santos Anka, who are going to be making sure that it all goes by the rules. So let me just make a quick note of that. Here are my notes, Pepe Araja and, as I said, Santos Anka. And you might see that on your screens. The weather is not exactly typical southern Florida weather, but I'm sure that will not faze the players in the slightest. As the umpire just giving the last few words of instruction there to get the first of our 6 chukkers underway. As I said, this is the opening match of the Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. We have a total of 5 teams, and I shall be telling you a little bit more about the other teams. We've split them up into 2 brackets. In bracket A, which is where Alegría is in, they're going to be another 2 teams in that bracket. We've got Sebi Lion. I'll tell you about who's playing for those as well throughout the broadcast, and ERP Rocky Mountain, and that's the third team in that bracket A. And Quite on Z in bracket B, they're going to be in the same bracket as Juice. So here we go then, ball's in play, and away we go. And it looks like Quite on Z, remember they're in yellow, Alegría in the pink and black. First monster shot there coming from Filario Figueres. But it'll be Fred Mannix Sr. with a very nice little backhand ball here to try and get that ball up to Santos Valent, and he will play a very nice pass to Freddie Mannix Jr. Remember the 2 13-year-olds playing together, and also for myself, the first time to see Fred Mannix playing alongside his son. Now, of course, the 2 brothers, Artemio and Hilario, have been playing a lot together, also with their father, Nacho Figueres. So nice to see another family coming in and playing together, which I'm sure must be a moment of pride for Fred Mannix Senior, who's on the ball again there with a nice little open backhand, sends it back round. First touch now for Nick Roldan, and he will not waste any time sending Santos Valent on his way over on the far side. He's up against Alicia Zeidler. Good first touch. Zeidler coming in for the hard ride off. Now then the finish. Not a lot of goal to shoot at. Well, I said not a lot of goal to shoot at, but no mistake. Santos Valent there making easy pickings of that, despite the very hard ride off there by Alicia Zeidler. So Alegría getting off to a very good start here in the first of our 6 chukkers. As I said, we're playing on field number 3 at Grand Champions Polo Club. And it all started, of course, with Fred Mannix Sr. sending the ball up to Nick. Nick then saw Santos over on the right-hand side, played him a perfect pass. And despite a little bit of traffic coming in from Alicia Zeidler, Santos Valent gets his name and the first score up on the score sheet. Just a reminder that Quite on Z are totaling 11 goals on handicap, so they've been given a goal advantage from the get-go. Hence why you'll see it's 1 goal apiece here, after only 1 goal being scored. Back to the action we go, and this time it'll be the number 4 for Quite on Z. That is Artemio, also his first touch here. Now let's see if they can respond rather quickly here. Overridden, left behind. Quite on Z. Magrini now just taking the pace out a little bit, allowing everybody to get back in situ. Working it very well. Here comes the pass. Magrini tries to land that or drop that one into the danger zone. It'll probably just stay within the boundaries. Yeah, there it is. You see maybe 1.5 yards to go as it's quickly picked up by Mannix. Fred, once again, this time using the right side of the field. Very nice first touch here from Fred Mannix Jr. working that ball very nicely. A little bit of a bouncing ball, but he gets the support there once again from Santos. And Valent tries to finish what he started, trying to keep that ball within the boundaries. It's picked up once again now by the number 2 in yellow, Quite on Z, Magrini. So very, very quick pace here from the get-go as Mannix here coming in for the ride-off, trying to take man with the number 4. Artemio Figueres out of the equation. As you can see, the weather not ideal, but Let's just hope that we get away with, if anything, just a little shower. And that ball just going ever so slightly wide. Very unlucky there by the number 4, Artemio Figueres. Had a big opportunity to get the, well, not so much the equaliser, but to get the first score here for Quite on Z. And as you can see by your screens, 3:37 on the clock. A very quick, and I'm sure they will be very quick here this afternoon, courtesy change. So still a little bit of adjusting going on within Quite on Z. Haven't quite yet found their rhythm. Now, of course, they are aware that they are up against a very, very strong team, especially with Fred Mannix and Nick Roldan being two of our World Polo League superstars. So maybe there's a little bit of an intimidation mentally going on there. Let's see if they can avoid too much mental pressure. The experience, of course, of Hilario Figueres, another one of our World Polo League superstars. He will be responsible for spreading calm within that team. And of course, with Artemio Figueres, who's no stranger to all levels of polo, I'm sure this is just a matter of time until Quite on Z find their rhythm and start scoring goals. Nice little shot there of Fred Mannix Jr. on his pony. Daddy just tying up his shoelaces or his bootlaces. Must be a very special moment for all the Mannixes to see father and son play together here at the Top Pony 12 Goal 2026. Now, as we have a little bit of an extra moment here, there's a quick reminder. We have a very special event coming up here at Grand Champions Polo Club on Friday. Fire and Ice Polo Party, Dressed to Impress. Gates open at 5:30. We've got DJ Cedric Gervais coming, who will be entertaining us. So if you want to get yourself some tickets, I'm sure there are still, well, not many, but there will be 1 or 2 available. Go to the GCPC website, get yourself some tickets. That coming up this Friday here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Of course, also in aid of the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation, of which we had a cracking day earlier in the week on Monday. As I said, so that's coming up on Friday. So everybody back in the saddle again. Here we go. Knock-in coming. Mannix. Fred Mannix will tap that one into play. Sends it over to the left-hand side. A good long ball here for Roldan. Oh, and you don't see that very often. Nick Roldan with a big swing. And McGreeny not going to waste any time dropping straight onto that. Santino. And you can see there the 7-goaler, Nick Roldan, not happy. Now coming back to try and steal that ball. Well, he's nearly gotten hold of it as Figueres has another crack and another shot on goal. Picked up once again by Mannix. A lot of work. He's got Artemio right behind him. There's the pass. A little backhand shot there from Zeidler. But to no avail. Zeidler needs to get a piece of this. Otherwise, Alegría will once again be on the move. Zeidler being wise there, getting out of the way. Look at this ball. Look at this ball go. Oh, what a cracking goal. What a cracking goal here by Mr. Fred Mannix Jr. So the two 13-year-olds here showing the elder generation how it's done. Goal number 2 for Alegría. And that puts them in the lead by 2-1 here with a little under 2.5 minutes remaining. Very calm, very cool composure there by Fred Mannix Jr. And I'm pretty sure Fred Sr. will be very delighted with that last play. You can see that both of the Mannixes there with a white helmet. Makes it easier maybe to spot them. Fred Jr. at number 1 and Fred with the number 4. And then Santos Valente here with the number 2. He's on the ball as I speak. Great ball control. And of course, all these boys very, very well mounted. Back to Mannix Senior. Roldan fishes that ball before it went through. Roldan. And you want to be careful when Nick Roldan gets anywhere near the that ball. The near side backhand just keeps it in play, but Hilario will be the recipient of that little backhand shot, so nicely done. All hands on deck Nicky coming in, getting there just before Magrini. Magrini needs to allow a little bit of space as Nick will turn. Another one of those super long balls. This time looking for Santos Valent. Goes for the under the neck shot. I don't believe this. Is that going to go through? Wow. Looked like it might have literally just missed by a couple of inches, maybe half a yard. So Alegría so far getting the better start here into this opening match of the Top Boney 12 goal 2026. Back to Hilario Figueres for Quite on Z. There he is again. Doesn't mind doing all the hard work. Also in defense. Now then, the two Figuereses. Hilario. He knows he's got brother Artemio behind him. But he also knows he's got two very eager and very talented 13-year-olds. Santos Valent being one of them. And Fred Mannix being the other. Away we go. Artemio working out very hard and very well. The little backhand shot. Nicely done. Now then, can Magrini pick this one up? He was trying to tee that one up nicely for Hilario. A little bit of a mistake here by Fred. Hilario hammers a nice little under the neck shot. Looking for brother Artemio. Will he get a piece of this? He will. Opens his shoulders, takes a shot. And that really should have been the first goal here for Quite on Z. Nice little combination there between Hilario and Artemio. And that will bring us, as you can see, to the end of our first chukker. So, 2-1. We will be right back. Stay with us. CTV Sports Top Pony 12 goal 2026. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, a warm welcome and a good afternoon. It's a bit of an overcast afternoon here in Wellington, Southern Florida. The Top Pony 12 Gold 2026 has just begun with our first chukker being played. Alegría, the team in the pink and the black shirts here, doing a very good job in that first chukker. A goal by the two 13-year-olds. Santos Valent playing the number 2 and Fred Mannix playing the number 1, both picking up a score. Quite on Z, they're the team in yellow. They were given a goal on handicap as they total 11 goals versus Alegría's 12. And as I said, Alegría getting off to a very good start here. And it looks like the boys have definitely put in the hours in practice, because so far everything they've touched has turned to gold. Nick Roldan, instrumental of course in getting that ball out of his own area and into the opposition's half. Roldan on the move. Now then, mobilising everybody up there, but Quite on Z with the experience of Artemio Figueres and brother Hilario, and then of course the very strong 4-goaler Santino Magrini. This is definitely not going to be a walk in the park, but if they keep doing what they're doing, again, here you see how Santos Valencia shakes off Artemio. Roll down with the supports. A very nice ball. Deep neck shot. Here we go. The under the neck to try and center it. He did very well to keep it in control. And, well, what can I say? This Santos Valent is just something else. Doesn't give up until the job is done. Dragged the player out to the right. Needed to correct himself. Really did not have a lot of angle there. And with a lot of composure, picks up his second goal and puts Alegría in the lead by 3-1. Keep a close eye on this young man, Santos Valent. And we remember seeing him in the PTF in previous seasons. A natural-born polo player. Ball's back in play. Alegría win the throw-in yet again. And who's on the ball? None other than the number 2, Santos Valent, doing enough to allow Nick Roldan to send it up to Mannix Jr. Went for a very big swing there. Magrini, again, has a bit of space to work and turn. Straight down the middle. Looking for... I think he was looking for Hilario. He's a bit too far out to the right-hand side. Nick Roldan will be thinking, thank you very much. I'll have a piece of that. So Nick Roldan working it very hard. In comes the challenge. He knew he had Santos Valent going up there with him. Now, he's been doing this all afternoon. Playing cat and mouse. In comes Mannix Jr. And, of course, for these youngsters to play at this level with these kind of polo players is a very important notch and experience for their young polo careers. This one just going out of bounds as we come up to the 4.5-minute mark. And of course, this is what Grand Champions is all about. It's promoting and pushing that natural talent through the polo school, of course, here at Grand Champions Polo Club, and from all the different levels. From 6 to 26 goal. We are, of course, already halfway through the World Polo League. We've had the All-Star Challenge and the Founders Cup. We've got the Palm Beach Open and the Triple Crown of Polo yet to come. Remember to check in on the website, CTV Sports, Grand Champions Polo Club's website, where you can also find the schedule for all the matches, be it the 6 or the 12, the 15, and then, of course, the 26 goal. So just go to the website. Now, of course, with the weather this week not having been so great, we've had quite a lot of rain. Field preservation, of course, is also important. So for any updated scheduling, please go, as I said, to the website. Here we go. Back to the action. Valent, not able to pick that ball up. Magrini got there just a little bit quicker. But Valent, yeah, very tenacious, staying with him. In comes Hilario. I haven't really seen that much from Hilario thus far. I'm sure that is only a matter of time. Just needed to get past Mannix Sr. on that play. Roll down, a little bump there against Artemio, taking on 2 defending or attacking players, whichever way you want to look at it. Again, Artemio sticking very close there to the 7-goaler. Roll down, needs to allow a little bit of space now to make the play. Another monster shot, and on the move, Mannix opens up his pony, very nice. Great first touch here from Fred. And now with all the composure, that ball might just go and trickle all the way over the back line. It does. So once again, the 2 13-year-olds showing the older boys how it's done. Goal number 2 for Fred Mannix. And you can see him here on the approach, keeping his composure. And he had a bouncing ball, but he knew he'd done enough. So well done, Fred, picking up his second goal, making it 4-1 now. And, of course, that takes us a little bit over the halfway mark of Chukker number 2. Clock stopped at 2:40 as the boys very quickly get on some fresh legs. So, Kwaiton Z still struggling a little bit. Seemed to be a little bit overrolled here by the very compact way that Alegría are not only playing but also positioning themselves, making it very hard for Kwaiton Z to find the gaps that they need to start playing their game. Artemio and Hilario, I'm sure they'll have had words, and they might need to just slightly adjust the strategy, because at the moment it's just not paying the dividend that they were hoping. Whereas Alegría, it seems at the moment, can do no wrong. Santos Valent working exceptionally hard, as is Mannix. reading the play very, very well, getting himself where he needs to be to then be fed those balls either from Nick Roldan or Fred Mannix Sr. So 2:40 on the clock. Wind seems to have died down a little bit here. Grand Champions Polo Club, remember, at field number 3. As everybody comes back and lines up on the halfway line. Santos Anchor, one of our 2 mounted officials, will throw that ball into play. He's done so, and it's going to be Quite on Z, who at least it would look like they've won this throw-in. And on that throw-in, we had a little situation here. Looks like we might have had a little bit of shading. I'm just having a look on my screen here. Looks like Alegría came in at a bit of an inconvenient angle here. A little bit of shading, a little bit of a rub there. So good call, and that will drop the ball on the penalty 4 spot. Which, of course, if that is confirmed, is a defended goal, and it's going to be Artemio Figueres to possibly get the first score here for Quite on Z. And it's just wide, so yes, indeed, a penalty 4. Could have, should have been the first score here for Quite on Z after that little unfortunate foul committed after the throw-in. So everything stays the same. First penalty we've had of the game, and we're already well into our second chukker. So a very clean game being played here by both teams. Roldan on the boards, trying to outmaneuver Magrini. And another nice little perfect pass here for when it was intended for Mannix Jr. Now, our second whistle, when it rains it very often pours. Let's have another look at that. There comes the ball. And Mannix takes a swing, misses it. Figueres there in disbelief, as he thought that that ball should have been awarded to him. But there must have been another player from Alegría who had already jumped on that line, and then of course that would be a blocking foul. So that seems to be the decision here by the umpires. And despite the fact that Fred couldn't control it, a blocking foul in favour of Alegría. Now then, is Fred going to pass the stick to one of his youngsters? Looks like he might. Who's going to do the honours here? Yeah, looks like it's going to be Mannix to Mannix. So, young Fred Mannix. Well, you got a piece of it, and it's still trickling, and it's over the line. Well, just wide. So a little bit unlucky. He held the length, just not quite the direction. Of course, with the rain that we've had, the field slightly heavier or slower, I should say, than under normal circumstances. So nothing's changed. Roldan intercepts. Nicely done. Still Nick. He might go for the direct shot. It's high, but is it straight? Well, everything that goes up must come down, and I'm sure Nick would like another crack at that. That was nowhere near the goal mouth. So here we go then. Hilario. Figueres taps the ball into play. We'll be looking to see where brother Artemio is. Wants to get a little bit more distance between him and that goal mouth. Still Hilario. He's got to be careful. Mannix will come in and challenge him. Well, he read it. Lets him override. Now wait for the big hit. Here it comes. And again, not quite where he wanted it to land. Roldan will be the first man on the ball. Artemio needs to allow a bit of space. Down on the boards, or towards the boards for Santos. Good first touch. A lot of space here for Santos to work. This time, all clean and well played here by Artemio. Beg your pardon, Hilario. I think that's what he was challenging in that last play when we got the penalty too. Turned. A bit too far for Zeidler, and Mannix not wasting any time. Still Mannix, the cut shot. Can he pick up goal number 3? Does it slow in Canada? I think you'll find it does. And there it is, goal number 3 for Fred Mannix after another broken play. They need to work a little bit on that. They need to tighten up on that. Let's have another look here. Very quick. Read it so well. And again, the composure. And that will bring us to the end of chukker number 2. So, 3 goals. Unanswered 3 goals by Kwaiton Z. They still have a little bit of work to do. We're going to have a very short break. Stay with us. Chukker number 3 coming right up here. Top Pony 12 goal 2026. Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you with us here. Top Pony 12 Gold 2026 Grand Champions Polo Club, where we're coming to you live, of course. CTV Sports bringing you all the action from 6 to 26 goal here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Remember, it is the 8th edition also of the World Polo League, which is in full flow. And we've literally this afternoon started here with the Top Pony 12 Gold. This is the opening match. Alegría in bracket A against Kwaiton Z in bracket B. We have a total of 5 teams competing for the Top Pony 12 goal. Nick Roldan being, of course, an instrumental part of that Alegría team alongside Fred Mannix, 2 World Polo League superstars. And they've let the boys, Santos Valent, the man with the number 2 on his shirt, and Fred Mannix with the number 1, do all the hard work so far, in so much that they've been doing all the scoring. A total of 5 goals so far, 3 on the account of Fred Mannix and 2 on the account of Santos Valent. As Kwaiton Z seem to be struggling here at the moment. I was hoping that might just be a first chukker jitter, and then they would find their rhythm more and more as chukker 2 got underway. Ball went out of bounds. Once again, a change of possession. Looks like it came off Santino Magrini. And you can see he's not pleased. Giving up the ball to such a strong team like Alegría is something you want to try and avoid as much as you can. Another very, very long ball here. Now then, Figueres. Hilario. Stops, cuts in. Well done. Leaves 2 defenders behind. The 2 13-year-olds. And now then, let's see if he can play. Oh, another mistake, which could cost them dearly. The backhand shot. The idea was very clever there from Magrini. A bigger part from Mannix to send it to Valent. He'd already turned. So not only are these boys technically very, very strong, but also very intelligent polo players. Now then, Magrini. Santino. I'm sure he'd like to run this one and get rewarded. Tops it slightly. Magrini a little bit out to the right-hand side. In comes Figueres. Hilario wants to get a clean shot off if he can. He surely can't miss from there. So took a bit of time in the making, but after a nice little run by Santino Magrini, Hilario Figueres able to finish and pick up the first regular goal in play here for Quite on Z. That is the first goal they've scored here so far in this first half. Remember, we still have a good 4.5 minutes remaining in chukker number 3. We play a total of 6 chukkers. So back to the halfway line. Maybe this was the catalyst, or this might have the domino, the knock-on effect that now, excuse me, Quite on Z will not only start winning the throw-ins, but also start picking up a couple of goals here. Just waiting for the umpire to release the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 players are there, and now I think we're going to have a timeout. No, we're going to continue playing. So 4.5 minutes on the clock, a little over. Ball thrown into play. First touch there by Mannix, but Magrini, very quick. We'll leave this one for Hilario. Mannix needs to allow a little bit of space. He does so. And that might just go all the way, and I think it has. Well, why not indeed? Hilario Figueres thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at this. He saw a little gap, checked, opened his shoulders, and let's have another look here. Mannix just getting out of the way. He was a good, I would say, 110 yards or so out, and that ball just comfortably, leisurely, just bouncing over the back line, making it 5-3. So as I said, that first goal by Hilario seems to have worked magic, because very quickly in succession, 2 goals, courtesy change, as you can see here. Hilario jumping from one pony to the next, and then in the background there you can see Santino Magrini following suit, as is Artemio, all getting on fresh ponies, which will hopefully make the difference. Well, you can see how quickly, the tables can be turned. We have a little over 4 minutes remaining here in the first half, and I'm sure Quite on Z will have plenty to talk about, especially that chukker number 2, 3 unanswered goals, 2 by Fred Mannix, 1 by Santos Valente. They, of course, the only 2 so far who've scored for Alegría, and Hilario Figueres picking up 2 goals here in chukker number 3. And remember, they were given a goal on handicap, hence the scoreline 5-3 as it stands at the moment. So just waiting, I believe, for 1 or 2 more players to join the come back out on the field. Quick reminder, the Fire and Ice Polo Party this Friday, Grand Champions Polo Club. Gates open at 5:30. DJ Cedric Gervais will be there. We've got an open bar catering, polo, skydivers, and all funds, of course, raised benefit the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation. So if you haven't got yourself a ticket, make sure you get yourself a ticket. The parties here at Grand Champions Polo Club, as I'm sure you've heard, are legendary, and we'll be down there, of course, as well on Friday afternoon. Back to the action, 3:38 on the clock. Magrini, we'll leave that one behind for the man who he knows is a big, big, solid hitter. Hilario slightly sends it over to the right-hand side, but Magrini was able to regain possession, and as I said, all of a sudden, Quite on Z are right back into this game here. Magrini picking up a much-needed 3rd goal here, and just avoiding the ride-off coming in from Fred Mannix right at the very end. So, just 1 goal in it at the moment. All that hard work by Alegría seems to be disintegrating slowly, so they need to latch on to the way they were playing, very focused, very determined in the first 2 chukkers. Mannix, Valente, basically gives the ball here to Artemio, but looks like we had a whistle on that last play. A little bit of a heated discussion going on there. Let's have a look. I'm able to have a look on my screen. Ball was thrown into play. And McGreeny there, he looks like he got caught up a little bit. Surrounded there by two players, so it could be 2-on-1. Either way, they've decided it's going to go in favour of Kwaiton Z, and Hilario Figueres takes a hit from the spot. The penalty 5A extends it nicely now to McGreeny. McGreeny immediately gets a visit from Fred Mannix. Figueres appealing, and he had the lesser angle, but maybe not the distance, or the distance was enough for the umpires to warrant not blowing on that play. Good call. Once again, McGreeny surrounded there by two defenders. Roldan this time coming back. Turns his pony, opens his shoulders, plays it nice and low. Santos Valent read it, took his time, a little bit of a swing and a miss hit, and here we go then, Artemio Figueres now. Very elegantly done. It's that bouncing ball. Roldan able to clear it, sends a rocket back down towards that halfway line. Who's going to get to it first? It will be McGreeny. Return to sender with a nice little open backhand. A little bit too steep. Now then Mannix. I thought if he misses that, that could be costly. Can happen. And all of a sudden, Hilario Figueres, who's picked up his third goal here in this first half, leaving all the goal scoring to the very last minute here. It's 5 apiece after that unfortunate miss hit there by Fred Mannix Jr. I'm sure he will have learnt a lot from that. And of course, the experience of Hilario Figueres will take that opportunity and, as you saw, pick up goal number 5. Well, number 4 plus the one on handicap, hence 5 goals apiece. Roldan. Let's see if Alegría can finish on a high. They've dominated this game, especially in the first 2 chukkers. Near side backhand. Well, it could go the other way. Artemio says, well, thank you very much. I'll have a piece of this if you don't mind. He's out there in front on his own. Here comes the shot for the finish. And that went ever so slightly wide. And I'm pretty sure that will bring us to the end of our first half. So, what a turnaround by Kwaiton Z, leaving it all up until the third chukker when they really put the heat on. Coming up with 4 goals. Here are your stats. Obviously, 5 goals apiece. Shots on goal, surprising there. Both now with 9, especially in that last third chukker. Knock-ins, again, not much in it. 5 goals to 4 in favour of Alegría. Throw-ins, 7 goals to 3 in favour of Kwaiton Z. But also on the fouls, 3 by Alegría, 1 by Kwaiton Z. Very, very clean game. We're going to have a short break. Make sure you join us for the second half. Top only 12 goals, CTV Sports, when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here. CTV Sports coming to you on a slightly overcast and a bit of a miserable Wednesday afternoon, but that has not taken away from what has been a very, very exciting first half in this opening match of the Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. Alegría in the pink and black shirts here with Nick Roldan on the move with a nice ball up to Santos Valent. Santos Valent already having scored and hit the target twice. This could be goal number 3 if he can get this one through the uprights, and he does. So what a cracking way to start chukker number 3. He also was the first to score in that opening chukker, so now with a hat-trick to his name. So let me just finish off who else is in that team. We just saw Nick Roldan, as I said. He's playing the number 3 position of 7 goals. Santos Valent, the 13-year-old, of which we have 2 playing the number 2 position, 0 goals. Fred Mannix Jr. playing the number 1 position, also 13 years old, also already having picked up his hat-trick. He picked up a goal in the first and 2 in the second. And then Fred Mannix Sr. playing the number 4 position. That is Alegría, who are in bracket A. In this Top Pony 12 goal, of which there are 3 teams in that bracket A. We've got 2 teams in bracket B, quite on Z, and they are, of course, in their traditional yellow shirts with Alicia Zeidler at number 1. And then let's jump straight to the number 3 here. And, of course, Hilario Figueres. He's been instrumental in getting this team back into shape here. They had they had 2 goalless chukkers in the first 2 chukkers, and then Hilario picked up a hat-trick in the third, as did Santos Magrini pick up 1 goal, plus the goal on handicap put them right back into the game. They left at half-time with 5 goals apiece, and that was short-lived as Santos Valent once again picking up a very early goal here in chukker number 4. Roldan, nicely played here to Mannix Sr., and he saw in the corner of his eye that his offspring, Fred Mannix Jr., was on the move. Zeidler having done enough, very effective and very efficient here, teeing it up nicely for Hilario. And now Hilario Figueres, key player here, quite on Z. As I said, bringing them right back into this game. Nice little lofted shot, looking there for brother Artemio. Artemio, the one-touch polo, which is what Grand Champions Polo Club, especially the World Polo League, is known for. Takes a shot, just puts it wide, and that combination, Artemio and Hilario, always very, very strong. And that's something, of course, that this man, Fred Mannix, is not only well aware of. They felt it in that third chukker. 4 unanswered goals by Alegría. Not quite the way they played in the first 2 chukkers. Roldan on the boards against Santino Magrini. He also the man who scored once so far. We'll now try and take on 7-goaler Nick Roldan. But we know what a strong player Nick Roldan is and how well he's mounted. It's going to go a little bit short. Didn't quite make it through to Fred Mannix Jr. Back to Hilario. Yeah, you could see he was looking where his brother Artemio. Well, he's right there. And that, of course, with those divots and the rain that we've had, just makes it a little bit harder here to control those balls. What you would normally think is a dead cert. But just the slightest little change in how you hold that mallet, how deep you hold it, can, of course, result in and we've seen a few swings and misses. Again, here just topping the ball. That's not down to the fact that the player doesn't know what he's doing. That's to the fact that the ground, of course, has had quite a lot of rain, making it very, very slow, I should say, to play. So they need to adjust to that. Once again, Mannix comes up against the boards. Remember that quick line change. Leaves it now for Santos. Santos Valent knew he had traffic coming his way. Oh, well played indeed. Beg your pardon, that's Nick Roldan, of course. He will leave that one for Mannix Sr. But we had a whistle. And that whistle, looking at the clock, can only mean one thing, and that is, of course, the courtesy change. So, I did mention that I was going to tell you a little bit about the other teams in this Top Pony 12 goal. As I said, in bracket A, we've got Alegría, but also in that group are ERP Rocky Mountain. And that team is made up of Megan Berry. We've got Sugar Erskine in there, of course, Tommy Collingwood and Vinnie Sangaline. They are the team that make up ERP Rocky Mountain. I was very fortunate to meet Megan last week. It'll be her debut appearance here at Grand Champions Polo Club. And then Sebi Line, of course, no strangers to Grand Champions, with Sebastian Mandelbaum playing alongside his dad, Leo Mandelbaum. And then we've got Michel Dorignac and a fourth player yet to be announced. So those are the three teams playing in Group A. And then in Group B, or Bracket B, we've got Quiet on Z already out there this afternoon. And then Juice with Enrico Bueno, very talented young player. Santos Bellini, of course, always a pleasure. Grant Ganzi and Santiago Toccalino. So another very, very big or very strong team there with some pretty big names. And as I said, due to the rain, the schedule has had a slight change. So just go to the website for your updated scheduling of this Top Pony 12 Goal 2026. Here we go then, everybody, back on the field. Nick Roldan, the recipient of this long ball by Mannix, and he will, send that one towards the north end of the goal of the field. This field running north to south. You see the goal judge there just placing it down. That is the north end. Ball went slightly wide. Quiet on Z, lucky to dodge that bullet, because normally Nick Roldan's balls are very, very, or his shots are very, very straight. This time just slightly out wide. And Roldan again on it. Look at this, waiting that ball to come to him. Maybe went a little bit too far out there, did Fred Mannix Jr. Hilario, Secretary of Defense now, wants to try and shake off those, well, both 13-year-olds. They're both sticking to him there. They've got to be careful. You can't come in from both sides. I'm sure they know that. And, of course, the experience here of Hilario paying a dividend. Now he's got to get past another Mannix, but it's the senior. And that whistle would suggest, that we might have had a right-of-way infringement here. Let's have another look. Hilario leaves the two 13-year-olds behind. You see Mannix coming in. And, well, the umpires clearly deemed that window was a little bit too short for Roldan to make that play. So, as a result of that, a penalty has been given in favour of Quiet on Z. Now that to me looks like a penalty 3. It's an undefended, it's an open goal penalty. Yeah, penalty 3 it is. So 40 yards undefended, a case for Artemio. And this, of course, could put Quiet on Z level now with Alegría if he can score. Well, it's not the first time that's happened. He won't be happy with that at all. Normally he's a dead cert. Artemio Figueres puts those away in his sleep. So Alegría this time dodging a bullet. And away we go. Mannix out to the right-hand side, feeding the ball up to Nick Roldan. He's got McGreeny sticking on him there like a cheap suit. But again, the experience, of course, here of the 7 goal, and Nick Roldan paying dividend. Along the boards, Santos jumps straight on it. He knew he had Fred Mannix behind him. Fred will drag. Artemio with him. Still Mannix. There's the shot. Oh, on the doorstep. Cleared by Hilario. That ball just came to an absolute abrupt stop there. Roldan, power play here from Alegría. Still Roldan. Just a little flick of the wrist. Gets well defended, very well defended. And once again, Hilario able to clean up and untangle himself. Powerful little under the neck shot, looking for McGreeny. But McGreeny's got Valent right there with him, shoulder to shoulder. Good first touch on the near side. Now then, what's Valent going to do? Gets a piece of it. I thought he would. Turned. McGreeny, advantage given. Now the whistle stops play. Well, a lot going on that in that last few sequences of the match. But I think, yeah, we had Chucker, so we're going to send them off, get them on fresh ponies. And of course, once we know what the outcome of that whistle was, we will bring you up to speed. Stay with us. Very short break. We'll be right back here. 2 more Chuckers coming at you. Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. Welcome back. As I said, very quick courtesy change here, and I did tell you I was going to bring you up to speed on what happened there. Well, we had a change of direction and an unfortunate right-of-way infringement there, which was caused, I believe, by Nick Roldan against Santino Magrini, and as a result of that, Kwaiton Z have been awarded another penalty, an open goal penalty. Now this, a case for the bigger brother Hilario to get his half a dozen on the score. So a good call there by our mounted officials. Now let's see if Hilario can put it through. This time, no mistake. Well done, Hilario, picking up his 4th of the game. And as I said, with that, makes it even Steven, 6 goals apiece. But we still have plenty of time here in this penultimate 5th chukker, and then of course the 6th chukker right thereafter. So 5 apiece is how they left at the field at the end of the 3rd chukker. Just that 1 goal in the last one coming courtesy of Santos Valent, and now Kwaiton Z with a hit from the penalty line for Hilario Figueres, makes it 6 goals apiece. Looks like things are working quite well here at the moment for Kwaiton Z. And again here, hit and miss. Mannix appealing to the umpire, saying he had the lesser angle, was already on that line. Let's have another look. I know that you will not be able to see this, but I am very fortunate here at CTV Sports to have the technology. And there you can see it quite clearly. That Mannix was already firmly established on the line. Hilario coming across unintentionally, of course, but a foul is, of course, a foul. And thanks to one of the best in the business drone pilots, able to, of course, break down that play piece by piece. And again, a very good call here by our 2 mounted officials, and that is going to result in a penalty 4. You can see it there, a defended penalty in favour of Alegría. Interesting to see how Fred's teeing that ball up very much on the very far right side of that line, which would suggest that he's going to have a crack at this himself, bearing in mind the wind and maybe also the rain, and also probably, as he knows, where he tends to play these balls. So play is called. Great shot here from right behind the player. Mannix hammers that one. No mistake. So Fred Mannix puts the Alegría team back in the lead with his first goal of the match from the line. 7-6, but still plenty of time here in chukker number 5. And as I said, in chukker number 3, that's when Quiet on Z found their rhythm, started playing their game, kind of stunned Alegría the way they were stunned in the first 2 chukkers. Nice little layup there from Artemio for Santino Magrini. Back up to the front door looking for Hilario. Hilario again surrounded there by the 2 13-year-olds. Left behind for Artemio. Just too many mallets down there. Helping hand coming in from Fred Mannix Sr. And Valent, well, he kept the pressure on as it's turned around by Magrini, even though he's already in his own half. Nicely done. Magrini, well, he's got 2 to choose from. That deflection, very unfortunate there for Artemio. Hilario just his horse getting that little clip, or rather the ball just coming off him. A little bit of luck here, as once again Hilario will pick it up, take it around the outside of all the traffic. Still Hilario. Nick Roldan wants a piece of it, gives it back now to Artemio. Couldn't control it. And Roldan cleaning up nicely. Artemio staying with his man. Hilario, the danger not yet controlled. And another whistle as Hilario was on his way to goal. Roldan picked it up on the near side. You can see here it gets hooked. Deflection, so quick line change. And there you see coming charging down the line was Fred Mannix. And that was a little bit too close for comfort for the umpires. So a little bit unlucky there. So hit from the spot, quickly taken by Fred. Roldan. Magrini. Umpire saying no relative speed here, no imminent danger. Play continues. Roldan. Nicely played up to Santos Valent. What a perfect pass here. And he's got Mannix right behind him should he need him. Controls it well. The finish. What a cracking play here by the 13-year-old Santos Valent, picking up his 4th goal. Incredible stuff. Incredible polo here. Let's have another look at that, how that came together. Yeah, just sticking and staying focused. Corrects himself. And then cool as ice. Santos Valent picked up, as I say, his 4th. He's scored in every single chukker except for the 3rd one in the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, and now one in the 5th. And with 4 minutes exactly on the nose, we have our one but final courtesy change. And so far, as I said, we've been very, very lucky and blessed that the rain has not hit Field 3 here at Grand Champions Polo Club. And let's hope it stays that way. So, as it stands at the moment, 2-1 in this 5th chukker, making the overall score, as you can see on your screens, 8-6. But with 4 minutes, a lot can happen in those 4 minutes, and I'm pretty sure Quiet on Z will have a game plan. And so far, they're doing a very good job, the way they've managed to contain Alegría at times. It's when they start breaking free that they are extremely dangerous, extremely effective. But you've got to give it up to these 2 young 13-year-olds. Santos Valent here with the number 2 on your screens. Absolute stellar polo performance by him. And then, of course, Fred Mannix, also already with 3 goals to his name. I'm sure he would like to pick up goal number 4. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunity in the remaining 4 minutes. And then, of course, the 6th chukker for him to do so. So, back to the halfway line they go. Then over on the far side, Pepe Arajo will throw that ball into play. And let's see if Quiet on Z can win the throw-in. That'll be a very important step in the right direction. Roldan stops, turns. Sends that one back up. Looking for, well, he had 2 Mannixes to choose from. Fred Sr. On the ball now after that little miss hit there by Artemio and Mannix. Has he done enough? Has he done enough? Remington, if ever I saw one, very, very close shave, just going out wide on the right-hand side there. I'm sure Fred would like to have another go at that one and put that where it belongs. So here we go. Hilario. Well, this pony is very familiar. We've seen that playing in many, many games with Hilario. Just biding his time, waiting for the opportune moment to pick up the speed. Artemio back to Hilario, if that works. Would have been a very nice little play. And you can see straight away 3-4 Alegría defenders straight on the man, not leaving anything to chance. Roldan over the halfway line. Artemio sends it back. He's found, well, has he? Well, it looks like it was. I was going to say, he was so close in finding brother Hilario there. Fakes the backhand shot. Nicely done. He knew he had Artemio there to back him up. Well played. Now then, he would have made his way towards that goal mouth. Here he comes. Hilario. Still Hilario. Drags it out a little bit to the left-hand side. He's got a two-man line of defence there. Magrini will pick it up. Good job here by Magrini to support Hilario. There's the backhand. And then maybe Artemio can jump on this. Yeah, he does. Now then, along the back line. Avoids the hook there from Mannix. 1, 2, 3. And now the finish under the neck. Now he's going to go for the near side. Near side backhand, but did it go through? Did it go through? Well, it couldn't be much in it. It looked very close from here. Wouldn't mind having another closer look at that one. It's gone wide. But again, great polo. Superb polo here by Quite on Z. Unlucky there for Artemio. Mannix wasting no time. We're under a minute and a half remaining here in Chukka number 5. That one touch. Here it comes. Roldan up against Hilario. On the inside. Sends it straight back. And puts it out of bounds. So a quick change of possession. Alegría will waste no time. Mannix with a nice drive up to the front door, and Fred Jr. will finish what Daddy started here. Again, that one-touch polo. I told you he was going to pick up his 4th goal, and he's done so right at the end here of Chukka number 5. Yeah, cool as a cucumber. Just hammers that one through. So they certainly are right when they say, like father, like son. Down to the last few seconds before that horn or that whistle goes. It's gone, and that'll bring us to the end of Chukka number 5. 3-1 in favour of Alegría. The overall score 9-6. We have one more, and I promise you, exciting Chukka coming up. Stay with us here, CTV Sports Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us here, as I say, on this slightly overcast Wednesday afternoon here in Wellington, Southern Florida. Great to have you with us, CTV Sports. We are coming to you live from Grand Champions Polo Club, field number 3, the opening match of the Top Pony 12 Gold 2026. And, well, what an interesting game we've seen here this afternoon. That last chukker very much going in favour of Alegría, who had a little bit of a dip in chukker number 3 and chukker number 4, which is exactly where and when Quiet on Z turned up the heat and got right back into this game. They had a little bit of a blip right at the beginning. Alegría coming in very, very strong, kind of bulldozed Quiet on Z. But then the experience and the intelligence of Hilario Figueres and the calmness that he portrayed within that team got the team back on track. Also, this young man, Santino Magrini, very, very strong and instrumental in supporting Hilario and Artemio Figueres. But looks like when Alegría want to turn up the heat, they can do it at the moment's notice. They did exactly that in that last chukker. A goal coming from the 4th from Santos Valente and also the 4th from Fred Mannix. Remember, those two players, number 1 and number 2 in pink and black shirts, are of course a mere 13 years, a tender 13 years of age. And at 6:30 we have another right-of-way infringement here. And yeah, if you have a look at your screens, here it goes. Magrini loses the ball, and Mannix was on it a little bit quicker than Hilario Figueres. And as a result of that, or do I have to correct myself? No, I don't think so. Yeah. It's going to be taken. I think the option was a hit from the spot or a penalty 2. They've now opted for the penalty 2 spot. So yeah, Mannix on that line a little bit quicker. And the honours being given once again now to Santos Valente to possibly pick up, if he indeed is going to take this shot, his 5th goal of the match. Remember, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and then 1 in the 5th. So this could be the first goal scored here in chukker number 6 by the 13-year-old Santos Valente. Makes it look so easy. No mistake. Well done, Santos. And as I say, that is goal number 5 for the 13-year-old. And not only that, it puts his team pushes them into double figures. And I believe for the first time in this match, a cushion of 4 goals. No, I have to stand corrected. We had that similar scenario. It was 5 goals to 1 at the end of the second chukker. 3 goals coming in, and they'd already scored 2 in the first chukker. So that 4-goal cushion resurrected once again. Let's see how Quiet on Z will answer and play the remaining 5:40 on the clock here in chukker number 6. Mannix left that one behind. In comes Figueres. Wanted to send it into the path there of Santino Magrini. There he is on the ball as I speak. And that rain hasn't helped in getting those passes as precise as we're used to. Magrini appealing. Umpire says play on. Mannix wants to take the ball around the outside, avoid all the traffic, but Magrini sticking to him there. Well played, Santino. Still Mannix. Now up against Artemio. Surrounded there by 3 Quiet on Z defenders. Still Mannix. They need to allow a little bit of space. They do so. Hilario. Deep, deep, deep in his own half. Sends it out to the right-hand side. Intercepted. He got a touch. Nick rolled down. Will say, thank you. I'll have a piece of this. Sends it straight back over everybody's heads. And now Mannix. Play continues. And there's the other Mannix. Artemio able to clear it and send his brother Hilario on his way. Little cut shot. That'd be nice if they could finish on a high here. Hilario just needs to centre it a little bit. Gets the 7-iron out, but look, coming out of nowhere there was Mannix. Deflection coming off the pony of Magrini. Well, I'm sure they won't mind how they pick up a goal, but we'll give that one to Santino Magrini. Little unlucky there. Have a close look at this. The ball deflects off the pony and then just seems to find its own way into the to the goal mouth. So Magrini picking up his second. Controversial as it may have been, but it's a goal, and that makes it 7-10. So a goal apiece, and 3:33 left on the clock. And my last time for today, at least, to remind you that day after tomorrow, Friday, March 20th, Grand Champions Polo Club Fire and Ice Polo Party, dressed to impress. Gates open at 5:30. DJ Cedric Gervais will be there. Open bar, catering, polo, skydivers, and I'm sure one or two other little surprises. And remember, all the funds raised to benefit the PTF, the Polo Training Foundation, which of course is a non-profit charitable organization dedicated to the promotion and the supporting and development of future generations of the sport of polo. And we very much look forward to welcoming you and seeing you there this Friday, March the 20th. As I say, gates open at 5:30. So everybody back out on the field, about to finish and bring to an end what really has been very exciting and thrilling, and above all clean and very fair and fast-paced game of polo here, the Top Pony 12 goal. And this is just a taste of things to come. This was only the opening match. As I said, we have 2 brackets, a total of 5 teams. And as I said earlier, due to the weather, please check on the internet at Grand Champions Polo Club or CTV Sports for the scheduling, because based on the weather, that may have changed. Roldan on the boards there, battling it out with Santino Magrini. Still Roldan. Tries to and does well, though. We're playing it now on the near side. He's got Mannix at the front door, waiting for that pass. Magrini tucks in behind, steals, turns on a sixpence, and away we go with Quite on Z. 2:50 on the clock. Still, Santino Magrini able to cut across the field, leaves it behind. Hilario backing up very nicely. Figueras, in comes Mannix. Still, Figueras. Magrini tucks in behind. Valent puts his stick down, tries to hook the 5-goaler. And Mannix just clears it. Very nicely done. Well done. Had a player on his hip there. Now, of course, they're playing against the clock. Let's see if Santino can do something here. Well, if you snooze, you lose. That is what you see on page 1 of the book, of the rule book. And Santos Valent. Is he going to pick up his 6th goal possibly here? Mannix Jr. appeals. Umpire says play on. Back to Magrini. 1:50 on the clock. A lot of space there in midfield. Still Magrini. You see how Hilario is just taking out Fred Mannix to allow that clear passage. Roldan. Breakaway play. Yeah, he'll just walk this one or run this one at a leisurely pace. Nick Roldan will put that one away, and that also means now that all 4 players at Alegría are on the score sheet. Fred Mannix also picking up a goal in that previous chuck-up. So breakaway play, and then of course an easy goal here for Mr. Nick Roldan to make it 11-7. We're down to the last 50 or so seconds here in chukker number 6. It'd be nice to see Quite on Z win the throw-in and finish on a high. Roldan, he's got other ideas. Picks up the ball. Yeah, and that whistle. No, there was no whistle. Hilario Figueras very much thinking that that should have gone his way. Well, looks like we did have a whistle. I'm not sure if that was the play that came right afterwards or that initial play when Hilario was running down the line. Let's have another look. Here it comes. Yeah, well, that's where that quick line change is in effect. So indeed, Hilario, bit of a late whistle, does get the whistle and hit from the spot, literally on the halfway line. And this calm canter would suggest you might just want to send a rocket, and that ball's still flying. And he's found brother Artemio, a little bit too far for him to take. Well, now he got a piece of it. But running out of time. We're down to the last few seconds of play. It looks like Kwaitonzi have conceded and said, okay, you've got this one. And let's see if Fred Mannix Jr. can pick up another 6th goal. Well, if he can't, Santos Valent. I'm not sure if that actually went through before the bell or not, but clearly these boys can't get enough. So, yeah, they're going to give it to him. So Santos Valent picking up 2 in this chaka. Well, that will bring us to the end of what really has been a cracking game of polo. 12 goals to 7. I'd like to congratulate Santos Valent, Fred Mannix, Nick Roldan and Fred Mannix. There you have your final stats. Shots on goal, Alegría 18-14. There's a big difference there. Throw-ins, not so much. Knock-ins, also not so much. And look at the number of penalties and fouls committed. 2-on-1 and 5-on-3. So all very clean and very, very doable from all of us here at CTV Sports. We hope you enjoyed the opening match of the Top Pony 12 Goal 2026. More to come. Please check with on our website for the next pairing in this Top Pony 12 Goal. From all of us here, enjoy your evening and look forward to having you back on CTV Sports very soon. Thank you.